What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, Jonah.
How you guys doing?
Doing good. How are you?
Good, good. We totally didn't just spend like 40 minutes or so setting this up. We're totally chill, totally casual, know how to do all this podcasting stuff.
Yeah,
very well.
we're totally we got we're all audio
Yeah.
We're
people,
becoming
so,
professionals.
yeah.
If you don't want him to be totally all up in your business,
Yeah,
you can just.
I think it's
not,
fine. I
if
think
you
it's fine like this.
Okay, if
Yeah.
you just don't pet him and you tell him to get off, he'll get off.
All right.
This is the Burnout Report AV set.
All right, so I got a question for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've all been to a lot of shows, a lot of DJ sets. I want you to think of like the craziest or most interesting or most like out there place, like venue setup that you've seen a show at. And I want you to tell me about that.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I got to think about that one for a second.
I'm ready.
Yeah, go for it.
I saw Zed's Dead perform at Cat's Deli last year. I feel like that's kind of crazy. It's a really, really old establishment in New York City. It's like a very classic deli. I don't think they really regularly host dubstep shows at Cat's Deli, but
That was actually the first time I'd heard of any show being held at Cats.
yeah, it was pretty sick. They there's like a wall of meat, I would say, and they had to figure out how to like tie the media equipment to the like hanging meat on the back, and then it just
That sounds crazy.
the whole place reeked of salami like the whole time. And then at one point, Hooks and DC were handing out pastrami sandwiches to the crowd.
So they played on the wall. They didn't play behind the counter. They didn't set up.
They played behind the counter, but a lot of like I don't know, like cameras and stuff were like hung up on like swaying sausages.
That's nuts.
And the whole thing smelled like beef. Like the whole place just like reeked of beef.
How much of Cat's Deli is like an actual, like, is it like a legitimate deli where people go and get sandwiches like on a regular
Yeah.
Tuesday?
It's a really popular spot.
Is it like a sort of like it used to be a deli, but now it's like a hip like coffee shop bar thing?
No. It's like an old school New York deli. And you go and you just like get matzo ball soup and pastrami sandwiches and all of that like classic New York Jewish deli stuff. And they like don't host events, I don't think, often.
That's really cool then. I mean, to me, that lends to authenticity.
Yeah, like I said, I'd never heard of a show being done there, but I saw a bunch of videos from it. Wasn't there, but it
was
looked
so cool.
It looked like a real like unique experience. You know.
What about you, Trevor? Or Jonah?
John, have you been into any like? I don't know if I've been to many like non-venue shows.
So I did used to play in a band in Chicago, and we would play at some like DIY setups. And the funny thing to me is that they would have names like you know, my bandmate would be like, "Hey, we're trying to get this show at the bowling alley," and I'm like, "A bowling alley?" And it's like it's actually like someone's house with a basement, but they call it the bowling alley, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Or it's like the litter box, or like the bookstore, or something, and it's like, but they were just people's houses. With the basement, which was very neat, but I think dude, we saw Space Laces in a parking lot in Wicker Park.
That was cool. The plumbers union parking lot.
You're telling me Space Laces played a show in Wicker Park, and I didn't. When was this?
It's West Loop, and it was like probably 3 or 4 years ago, and
It was he played before Jaws, right?
No, I think those are two separate events. But we also went back there for Jaws.
That's nuts. I'm like so sad I didn't like get the word on that. I don't know if were we friends at that. I don't think we were friends.
I did not know you at that point.
I don't think we knew you back then, but it was crazy. They had
I don't think we knew you.
They had blow up, like they had inflatables, like a bouncy castle, like they all these like inflatable carnival things, and then Space Laces, it was in the parking lot.
That was the first time I saw Space Laces, and basically, I mean, you know, basically our friend Jeremy like convinced us all to go because I was like, there's no way I'm gonna like this, but it was fantastic. I was converted. I'm a Space Laces convert now, and now we're all gonna go see him at EDC, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, I mean, Space Laces, in my opinion, is the most talented heavy dubstep producer ever. And every set I've seen from him, I've just like, I think the first time I saw him was at EDC in 2022, and I've just been, you can't miss a Space Laces set ever since. I'm just like sad I didn't see him in the park, because that sounds like really cool.
He might be making dubstep 2.0. Like, I don't think he even like makes. I think he's like on a different level of. He's like on 3.0 maybe.
Yeah,
Dude, I mean, there was this great memory that we have though, like, Scott, shout out Scott Emers. He was taking a video when Space Laces was playing Digital Gangsta, and he could just hear me in his video just going like, "Oh my god!" like just reacting to that song, because I had never heard it before. So yeah, but I have a follow up. I have a follow up question to this. So there's a lot of creative shows going on, a lot of pop ups, right? I'm sure like, Cat's Deli is pretty out there, but I'm sure there's other ones. I want you to think of a place that would be like too weird for you, like think of like a really, really compelling lineup, I don't know, Zed's Dead, RL Grime, and Skrillex for you, Becca. Trevor, you probably have some like deep cut rhythm DJs that I've never heard of that you'd probably want to see, but like, think if you see that lineup, but then you see a venue and it's like, oh, I actually don't want to go there. What would that look like for you guys?
yeah.
I feel like Skrillex, Zed's Dead, and RL Grime in a lineup could get me like to a lot of places. So I'm trying to think. I don't know, like a hospital.
I think I'm gonna have to just say anywhere in Streeterville, in Chicago.
That's it. That's where you draw the line.
I pretty much would draw the line if they like did a pop up at like
Navy Pier. You're like, no, I'm out.
No. Navy Pier's fine. I think like
That's Streeterville.
Yeah, but it's like its own thing, I just think like every time I go to Streeterville, I just like wish I didn't. If it were like a parking lot in Streeterville where you just have like ambulances like going by like every 5 minutes, and there's just tourists walking by that are just like sneering at you, like I think I would just like, I think that would be a little too much for me.
Just anywhere in Streeterville. That's so funny.
Yeah,
what about a set at the Bean?
Set at the Bean, I would do it. I think that's just like for the bit. I would go, and it wouldn't even have to be like a DJ I would like really need to see either. If they just did like a dubstep day at the Bean, I would be there like pretty. I mean, the Bean would be a great venue, I think.
What do you think the acoustics are like under the Bean?
Probably bad.
Yeah, probably not good. I mean, it was designed for aesthetics for sure.
Yeah, they'd have to do some serious changes to make it like dubstep ready.
Yeah. Oh, I know where I wouldn't want to see a rave. A coffee shop.
Oh man. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like I see a lot of those like popping up, and this is not like to go against the day rave, to go against maybe like I don't know if it's like a sober thing at a lot of coffee shops. I know they're not like serving alcohol, but
some of them do.
Yeah, I've just seen a bunch of videos of coffee shop raves that like pop up, and I'm not into it.
I'm also anti coffee shop rave.
Yeah, it seems like they're about as far away from like true good rave culture as you can get. I don't know.
So maybe you wouldn't want to pull up to listen to some Afro House at a coffee shop.
Nightmare.
10 a.m. on a Sunday.
Yeah, bro. I think that would be great. I actually want to see
matcha latte.
Yeah.
Wait, Trevor's dream day. This is Trevor's dream day. Okay, he gets invited to a coffee shop rave, and it's all Afro House, and it's in Streeterville.
Yeah, that sounds like something. I think that would be a little bit like too much for me. And there's the thing is like I love coffee shops and I love raves. I just like when I go to a coffee shop, it is just I'm going there for like the furthest possible like other edge of the spectrum of like life enjoyment and experience. It's about like quiet, maybe a little bit of like productivity, like getting some things done, like enjoying the sipping of a coffee. I just like don't think it's the place to like pull up like DJ decks and I think there are a lot of places where it's like really cool to pull up DJ decks, and like I would say like I've seen some cool pop-ups in like clothing stores or delis in New York. Or
I went to a pop-up at JP Graziano's.
See, that even sounds cooler to me than like a coffee shop rave. I just think coffee shops are kind of like a place for me where it's all about like relaxing and like kind of just being in tune with myself in a different way. It's just like more about like the quiet and the serenity and like the ritual, you know. It's just a different thing for me.
We should start a game where we think of a location and then we say rave or nay. Because nothing else rhymes with rave. Rave or nay.
Like a CTA train car.
That's a nay. That's a nay.
I feel like I've seen
sure?
there was like a lot of people that like, or a few production companies. I know like Redline was one of them that they tried to do CTA raves, and like I don't think the CTA staff like likes that.
Dude, that
much.
is like totally not the move.
If I was a commuter, I would hate that.
Yeah, seriously. Like
Yeah.
the CTA is the place. Like people just want to get to where they're going. I mean, just imagine someone being like, "What if we made a rave on a seat?" Like that's not even. It's like
What if we played the world's worst rhythm on this red line train at 5 p.m. on a Tuesday?
Well, the funny thing is I see like CTA themed, because like CTA, you know, it's an integral part of the Chicago experience. It's our, for those that are tuning in from not Chicago, it's our like train line system. I love it. I take it probably like most days. And I've seen a lot of like themed raves. Like I know there's like a few party series, like Chicago Garage Authority is one that's just popping up. And there's like some definite like CTA like branding, like, you know, the trains and like the promotion videos, but the actual events are at clubs, you know? And I think that's cool. I think there's like a cool like cultural element there. But for people who are like trying to get on the train, like, you know, like you're not trying to talk to people, you're not trying to like
Rave.
have a dance party.
they
It's
didn't
like
consent.
moving.
They didn't consent to having music blasted in their ears when they got on the train to try to, you know, you don't know what kind of day they had, right? I think the Red Line Chicago thing, they kind of made a rough name for themselves, a rough brand by doing that, and also like having a bunch of shows get like whatever events they put on not actually happen, and but yeah, you guys want to move on to some topics we have at hand?
Let's do Coachella.
Yeah, let's focus on Coachella, as it's the big thing right now, and I know there's so much that's happening at Coachella.
So Becca, you're in LA now. Obviously, you know we're not all in the same place, as you know you might be able to tell. And you know, I'm kind of getting this strange impression that you have like really insane FOMO for Coachella.
I have crazy Coachella FOMO, which is nuts because I went last year and I was like, I'm never doing this ever again. I walked 52 miles in the span of 3 days. My feet were busted for like a week after. It was really tough. No one tells you that you have to like walk 2 miles in and 2 miles out of Coachella every day. Like no one talks about it.
So with all that, you know, what's causing all this major FOMOmaxxing that you've been?
I am FOMOmaxxing. I think that Coachella is like the barometer of what's good in music. Like I think they do such an interesting job with the lineup. I think they do such an interesting job with like also for like electronic dance music, like the surprise Dulab sets, Dulab in general. The Quasar stage has some crazy stuff going on. There's just like all of the stuff that was unannounced. I had insane FOMO. I would have paid so much money to see RL Grime back-to-back, DJ Snake back-to-back, Floss. Are you serious? And that was announced like last week.
How did that happen? Like, how did that happen though? I mean, was DJ
I
Snake
don't
on the
know.
lineup? Were any of them on the
No.
lineup, or was that just a thing that they put together?
None of them were on the lineup. I don't know how that happened. And they took over the Quasar stage. It's like the big it's like by the big Red Bull pyramid situation.
Yeah.
It's like I don't even know, but they were playing like 2012 trap, which we should bring that back. 2012 trap should come back.
I saw this one clip, and I'll like pull it up for you guys afterwards. But it's Flosstradamus playing original Don, and he just like is screaming on the mic. Like you can tell he's having the time of his life. Like he's just like basically narrating the build up and the drop. And
That's I mean, why don't more DJs do that?
yeah. And
Tell
like,
me what I should be feeling before the drop.
Just like every second, like, are you guys ready? Like, are you ready yet? like, just like I thought it was like, and I love that song. I love a lot of like OG trap stuff. I know like old RL Grime and like Bauer, and like I used to like love that stuff in middle and high school. But just seeing like Flosstradamus, trap legend, like having the time of his life out there because DJ Snake brought him out. I was like, this is good for the culture. Like, I'm sure a lot of people are having fun.
So cool. I also have a lot of FOMO from like seeing all the footage from the Subtronic set. Like he played at the Sahara tent. There was 100,000 or more people there. That's good. That's a big Rhythmcella. It's Rhythmcella. It's big. This is big for Rhythm. Like that was insane.
Yeah, I just like it's kind of like big for dubstep because we did some research over the course of the weekend. This is the first year that I would say on the main stages that Coachella has even like offered dubstep outside of the Do Lab because like we went back and we were looking at lineups and like there was no real dubstep. I know like Closey played and Rez played and they're more like bass music, like kind of adjacent, like might play some dubstep. But this year I know they had Subtronics and Levity and a few other like actual dubstep artists play, and that's a cool thing to just show that they're expanding their reach a little bit, and dubstep's kind of like having its moment on the Coachella stages. I had people that like I don't know if they've ever listened to dubstep before, like friends that were at Coachella that were at like Subtronics, like listening to the new track.
Yeah.
Like I saw that on Instagram stories, and I'm like, this is like a really cool moment for people to like get to enjoy what I know like we've been enjoying for so long. Like dubstep's awesome.
Grizz was supposed to play in 2020, but obviously that Coachella never happened. So
Yeah, and Scream and Benga were supposed to play I think like 2 or 3 years ago, but Benga had visa issues, and when Scream is like when he's alone, he'll do more like house and techno stuff. So he ended up kind of doing a house set at that Coachella, but still like really cool to see. All the videos from the Subtronic set looked insane. Hamdi also played, and I saw videos from his set, and that also just looked like so crazy. Hamdi played Rhythm. He posted it on his Instagram.
I just think really cool things happen at Coachella, and I'm so sad that I wasn't there to experience it. Like Cascade brought out Crank That, Grizz surprise guest, John Summit surprise guest. There's just like crazy stuff happening.
Yeah. Honestly, Becca, I'm with you on the whole FOMO thing. I had quite a bit of FOMO seeing some videos. And as much as it was for the EDM, it was also for like getting to see like the XX, like 9 Inch Noise, like
9 Inch Noise. Oh my God.
The 9 Inch Noise set looked like a cultural moment as well. Seeing them on the Coachella stage, and I haven't seen the whole set, but definitely gonna be listening to that and having a lot of FOMO just from not being there. So
we missed Max Dean back-to-back Luke Dean at the Yuma. So that's sad.
Yeah. I mean they're gonna be like on every single lineup this year, so we'll see them at EDC.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really just a lot of FOMO coming out of Southern California.
Never miss a music festival.
Yeah.
Never miss any music festival.
I mean, like one of like my I don't know, talking just about like my goals for what we're doing here. I know, Becca, you're already like an EDM reporter, but I think like now that we're doing this, I'd like to be able to go to more festivals to like talk about them in the same way that you do, and like, you know, have that like review aspect and like what was good, what was bad. I know we're going to be doing that for Beyond Wonderland and EDC this year, but like,
I forgot you guys are doing Beyond Wonderland without me.
You're gonna be there, right, Jonah?
Yeah,
cool.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not just gonna be like me.
Yeah, it'll really it'll really lend to the credibility of the podcast if we can go to these events and not just have FOMO for it and talk about the FOMO. You know, we could talk about the actual event.
Yeah.
Last year it was just me and Trevor, and we only went to see Subtronics.
We saw other people too. We saw Chris Lorenzo go back to back with AC Slater.
That was cool. You're right.
That was really cool. We stopped by Mersive. I think the problem is we just went so late in the day that it was just like we got there for Subtronics, and then it's like it's over. You know?
And then it's over.
I went. I guess it was 2 years ago now, and I saw Peekaboo there. I guess Trevor, you were there too. Yeah.
I was there.
Oh,
we were all there.
Becca, were we friends back then? I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
You saw me leave my shoes at the festival.
Yeah.
We took an Uber.
I think we already talked about this on the podcast, actually. No, rip your shoes. That was crazy. Yeah, Jez and I still talk about how you just threw your shoes out of the.
I remember that. Yeah, just like on the ground, they were goners.
That was my introduction to Peekaboo, and I didn't really know Peekaboo, but he threw down. It was great. But like, so, you know, obviously there was a lot of great stuff that happened at Coachella. There was also some like not great stuff that happened. Right. So what, there was a light that fell on someone. Was that it? Was that at
A light fell on someone at Dulab.
At Dulab, during the summit?
During the summit surprise set, and I think they eventually had to shut that down. And then I don't think it was the same day, but I also feel like I saw a speaker falling on someone. No, a drone hit someone. Someone.
So first of all, did the light fall because of wind?
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, so they weren't ready for the wind.
Yeah.
And
they were not ready for the wind, and the wind canceled the. Is it anima? Is it anima?
No one knows. No one in America that I know. I've not gotten a pronunciation just because I never hear anyone say it.
Because people fear saying it.
Yeah. Talking about that set though, I saw a really Coachella, I feel like it's just a place full of moments that you're not going to get anywhere else. And this morning I saw a video of Madonna dancing her heart out to the Anima set. She's just like going like full on like rave mode, like doing the frat flick. I'm just like, what is going on?
Well, so she came out for the Sabrina Carpenter set.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she went over and, watched the Anima set.
I mean, just like the thought of like Madonna like dancing to melodic techno music is just kind of like, it's a trippy thing to me. It's just like, where else would that happen? I don't feel like that would happen.
That's the coolest thing. Like weird stuff happens, like Anima and Anima. I don't even know. Went back to back with Marlon Hofstede. When would you ever see that again? Probably never. Like that's so different. Oh, last year Bernie Sanders. Last year Claro brought out Bernie Sanders at Coachella.
I do remember that. I would freak out if I saw Bernie Sanders at a set. I would probably fanboy pretty hard if Bernie got brought out.
Did he play rhythm or
Claro?
No, Claro?
No, Bernie Sanders.
Yeah. Would you guys see a Bernie Sanders DJ set?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I feel like in the early days of like Midjourney and like AI stuff, the thing that I wanted to make the most was Bernie Sanders playing a DJ set, like at like a music festival. Like I wanted that image, and they would never do it because it's AI. I probably wasn't using the right model.
You could do it now.
Yeah, I could do it now. But yeah, dude. So okay, going back to the drone though, like, man. How do you get hit by a drone? How does a drone hit someone? Like that is rough. That is a tough outcome for
a person.
For Coachella. I mean, well, yeah, for the person, but also for Coachella. It's like, okay, like a light falling off of something, like that's unlucky, but they're up high, there's wind and stuff. A drone just flying around in the sky and hitting someone on the ground. That sucks, dude.
That says more about the drone operator, I think, than the festival. So whoever's like working whoever's doing the drone work, I don't know, drone artists, what do they call them? I don't know.
Pilot.
Okay, drone pilot. Yeah, that's on them.
Yeah, I just feel like, something like Coachella, there's so many moving parts and like artist needs to cater to, and like I know there's just probably it's pretty like they're just probably a little bit like too ambitious with what they're trying to do. If there's like so many drones flying around and like so many things need to be set up just like between stages, between artists. It just might be like a little ambitious, at a lot of EDM festivals. It's a lot of just DJs, like, going on to CDJs or just like kind of changing over, especially with like house and techno stuff. I just feel like you open up the possibilities for like structural failure when you're like doing so much and catering to so many different like artists and
Yeah, but like they've made it work for a long time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I would imagine like, there's when you hear about EDC, at least like what are we talking about? Coachella?
Coachella.
At least in my experience, when I hear about Coachella, it's like it's not like, oh man, it's such a shit show, it's such a mess. It's like it's mostly like there's so many people there who are like kind of influencers, filming a lot of stuff that, there's so many eyes on it. I would expect it would be a kind of a smoothly run show, or else I would hear about it a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of like too many negative things happening in the past, and then all of a sudden they're having like radius moments with stuff falling out of the sky and whatnot.
Oh my God. Let's all wear hard hats to festivals.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I feel like this is gonna be a little crazy. You might have to cut this out, but there's a rhythm DJ named Versa whose whole thing is like wearing like construction vests and hard hats because he used to be a forklift operator, and that's like his whole thing. It's just like dudes running around in pits and like construction attire.
So do all of his fans also wear a bunch of construction
they all
gear?
wear like construction vests and like hard hats and stuff.
Just like carrying a ladder into
all the
radius.
visuals all the visuals are like evil like stomping forklifts.
Versa?
So
yeah, Versa. I went to he opened up for Jessica Otterfred, and I saw him like 2 years ago, and I'm like, this is insane. And there was a bunch of people like in the construction gear. So
I don't even know who was performing, but I was at M2 in Miami for Art Basel, and whoever the DJ was, it wasn't Rhythm, so it wasn't the same person, but they brought out like all performers dressed in construction apparel. Like everyone was just in the construction uniform. Construction vest?
Versa?
No, it was not Rhythm. It was in Miami during Art Basel. There's no Rhythm to be had. That's crazy.
It reminds me of like that like trope kind of, but that says like if you wear like a vest and like bring like a clipboard, you can like get into anywhere without a ticket or anything.
Yeah.
Or if you like carry a ladder and it's like they'll just be like, oh yeah, right this way. It's like so imagine you go to like a Versa show and like everybody's dressed like that.
we should have done that at Coachella. Now that there's Rhythm, we should have. Now that they're playing heavy dubstep at Coachella, we should have become inspectors.
Well, there's always next year.
You set up your ladder at the Rhythm show.
Yeah.
But it'd probably get blown over by the wind and you might get hurt.
I think ladders and
Might get
festivals.
hit by a drone.
I think like festivals shouldn't have too many things around stages that you can climb. Because one thing that I have noticed is if there's like a thing that can be climbed,
A wook will climb it. A
wook will climb it. I've seen so many videos of just people at like Lala like hanging from like audio equipment and like structural things, and I'm like,
That's insanely dangerous.
yeah, it's so dangerous for like everybody. But I think bringing a ladder in, if you just have like a thing that's like meant to be climbed, like you're just gonna get bad results,
Yeah, but it's tough because like you have all these things that you need to set up for the show and like lights and
What
cameras
else?
and
What else?
pretty much just lights, right?
Yeah, and I think at like Coachella,
What else do you need?
at Coachella, they're like
Speakers?
they brought Rez's whole like equipment, her like stage design. They were doing like huge stage changeovers for some of the artists this year.
Especially at Sahara, I feel like they were like doing crazy stuff over there.
So okay, so Anima, was it the first weekend he canceled his whole thing?
The first weekend he couldn't do it because of the wind. He couldn't put on like the whole show because of the weather.
I think that's kind of weak. Just gotta say it. Like
I don't know.
Because dude, okay, like
But that's his whole performance. That's the whole thing.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if you can't like do your show because of wind, then what is your show really about? I mean,
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry, right?
I disagree. What if you're a pop star who also your whole brand is kind of based off this like, I don't even know, avant-garde performance. A lot of it's not like a stripped down. It's not a pop star that does all these like acoustics and like just sitting there with their guitar.
I feel like there's all these factors that could go wrong at every show, you know? I mean, like I'm sure if you perform a bunch of shows, there's going to be a bunch of shit that's like, this thing isn't going to work out. Are you just going to cancel your show? You know, like, are you going to you're not going to give that experience to your fans who came out there, right? Who walked, 50 miles, like you said, Becca, like, they're there, right? You're there. You walked all that way to see this artist, and there's wind, and you can't have these crazy dancers that are flying through the sky. So you're just going to cancel the whole set.
I hear you, but I think as an artist, one, I don't think the decision is made lightly, and then two, I just think he was probably like, we can't put on the best performance. So the best thing to do, also safety wise, probably was to cancel. I think a lot of it is just like the delivery of the art. Like, I don't know. It's same thing. Like if you're a pop star and you have all these like backup dancers and like your whole thing is like this big show, and then all of a sudden they're like, just kidding, can't do it, but you can do an acoustic set, and you're like, I don't do that. Like that's not my thing. I would cancel.
Yeah, I think an Anima acoustic set would be pretty tough to swallow.
Just like, so you can't do the CDJs, but you have this acoustic guitar. Can you like do the same thing?
Yeah.
Wait, what DJ would you see if they were doing an acoustic set?
Oh, I have several. I think
Skrillex.
I would a lot of DJs that like have I'd say like crossover hits where it's like kind of like kind of a pop song, kind of like a dubstep or EDM song. I think like I don't know. I feel like a John Summit or Subtronics acoustic set would go pretty hard. Just because they have a lot of like I don't know. They have a lot of like emotional bangers that I think would sound good, like stripped back, without all the womp womp or the uns.
I bet Skrillex would find a way to make womp womps and uns on an acoustic guitar, or like with like a one of those like drums that you sit on and you smack with your hands. I bet he could.
A bongo.
Yeah. Like do you know the song? You know the song like Into Pieces, the Grabbits and Subtronics song. Yeah. I feel like I've heard an acoustic version of that. I don't know if it was like official or like just like an acoustic remix, but it was really, really good. Like it was just, if the song has good like songwriting and it's catchy and like maybe is adjacent to like pop or folk or like something, I think it would go really good as an acoustic song.
I would see a Slander acoustic set.
Yeah, that's another one. Yeah, just that a crybanger acoustic set would
cry bang your heart out.
That reminds me, did you guys ever, I know you guys aren't the biggest mouse heads, but deadmau5 did like an orchestra like thing where he did orchestral versions of a bunch of his songs. And then I don't think I ever heard the original orchestra songs, but there were artists that did remixes of the orchestral songs. So there's like a Mr. Bill remix of an orchestra version of a deadmau5 song.
Wait, that's kind of sick.
That's crazy. Sick, is it released? Like, is it?
Yeah, this was many years ago.
Wow.
I honestly I remember seeing like some promo for the orchestra stuff. I think it might have been like behind, some kind of paywall or something. So I don't think I ever actually heard those. But then they came out with the remixes. It was called "Where's the Drop." It was pretty interesting. But that was like, and deadmau5 is another one who kind of does like the writing where it's like, kind of like what you were saying, Trevor. But yeah.
Yeah, I think a big step for kind of getting electronic music to a wider audience is the songwriting. I think it's like a reason why you see like Illenium just crossing over to like so many different circles, because I think good songwriting is good songwriting, and it matters less about like what's happening in a certain drop or like what the instrumentation is. I think that's what really allowed Subtronics to really get to the point where he is today. Because like I don't know if the new song, it's like just a great song and it's like super catchy. Dude. And like it's like
with Inez.
Yeah,
the sound design is crazy.
The sound design is nuts, but also it's like catchy. It's like I
agree that the songwriting's important, but also when you have like a really good vocalist, I feel like that's what really does the track in. Like that vocalist Inez is on two of Subtronics' John Summit's biggest songs, Crystallized and another one, and then she's also on my favorite Sub Focus song.
Yeah,
the one that closed out his last album.
Yeah, a good vocal, a good catchy vocal. it just does it. Like do you guys ever wake up with a song stuck in your head that like
Yes.
maybe isn't something that you know very well? You can't even like put your finger on it. Like I woke up the other day with I think the song's called "Can't Believe It" by John Summit. Like I listened to the album maybe like twice. And
Is
then,
that the Piano House one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that song.
Dude, I woke up and I'm like,
Stop inventing genres. Piano House isn't real.
Piano House.
yeah, no,
total.
MK.
Yeah.
MK is like totally Piano House.
Yeah, Piano House. It has those like syncopated
You can
piano rhythms
hear the
over the unsounds.
Yeah.
Becca's just trying to get back at me because I told her Speed House wasn't real, and I was kind of joking, but also like,
Well, I was listening to the Katama Coachella set, and I was trying to be like trancy hard house. Yeah. Shout out our other episode.
no, I don't know. Speed House feels like more of a descriptor than like a genre. Like same thing when I said trancy hard house, I wasn't saying that that's like a genre. That's just more of like a descriptor I would use to hear like the genre influences that I'm like hearing. And maybe it's the same thing with Piano House. It's like house plus piano equals piano house.
It's a feeling. It's not a genre. It's a
House
feeling.
plus Adderall equals Speed House. Like,
All right, so I want you guys to tell me, when you die, you get one stat of like some specific thing about your life. What is that stat that you get from God, from Skrillex, from whoever is that higher power at the gates when you die?
steps walked at music festivals.
Yeah, that's so Trevor.
That's something I'm like continuously like thinking about. I'm always trying to like step maximize.
He's step maxing.
Step maxing?
Step maxing, yeah.
He's step maxing.
I just like one of my favorite things to do is like be at a music festival and like send my friends pictures of how much I'm walking, and I'm like, I've done 3 marathons at Electric Forest. Like, what are you doing this weekend? No, it's like kind of like facetious, but also like kind of like true. I do.
That's
like
so funny.
Yeah. What about you, Becca?
I don't know. It was the easy thing for me to say how many Zed's Dead sets I've seen.
You're gonna know that. You're gonna know that stat.
Yeah, that's not like, yeah.
How many minutes I've spent listening to Zed's Dead? I don't know that.
Yeah, that's a good one.
All right.
I'm sure it's a lot, right? You're always like a top like 0.005%. 0.0 to the negative to the negative 10 to the 12th like power.
They should invite me to dinner.
At a deli.
Yeah, as like the top 0.005% fans.
Hey Becca, would you rather have $500,000 or dinner with Zed's Dead?
Okay, $500,000. Relax. But then I can invite them to dinner.
yeah, I think it would be pretty easy to.
But at the dinner, you have to take a 50 milligram gummy.
I wouldn't be able. I would be nonverbal.
Yeah, I think that would make it pretty tough.
They'd be like, this girl is whack.
Jonah, what would your stat be?
My stat, I guess it's not really a stat, but there are some times where I would wake up with a song stuck in my head and I would never find out what it was. There's actually been some times where I had a song for like several days and I never figured it out.
Yeah.
I know, guys, it's devastating, but I would want like, imagine. I'm sure you guys have had that same thing, right? Where you had a song stuck in your head, a tune, and you could never find what it was.
Yeah.
Imagine someone just gives you all of those songs that throughout your life you never figured out what it was. That's what I would want.
That would be I think a real benefit.
Like imagine like the like untying knot of your brain that would feel like.
Oh, it'd be amazing. I mean, there are times where I've gotten like so desperate that I'm like singing melodies into Shazam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it's rough, man.
Or
It
just
is
like
rough.
You can do that.
Yeah, I remember when our friend after Electric Forest, it was Nat. She was like singing songs into our Electric Forest group chat, and she was like, na 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 na, and one of us was like, "Oh, that's Jump Bros by Liney," and she was like, "Yeah." Like, I don't know. I think it's like a pretty like shared experience that like when you have that song, you don't know what it is. It's like so frustrating. It's like the only thing you can think about.
Yeah, I mean, especially with EDM and bass music and stuff, just being like, it's the one that goes.
Bom, bom,
Blah,
bom.
blah, blah, blah.
Oh my god, those are-
No, but there's like a gap and then there's like a buildup.
yeah.
There's like a respace in the middle, and then it's like, bah. Yeah.
No, that's hard house, dude.
Oh, Trancy Hard House.
Yeah, no, sorry. It's actually Speed House. Like imagine trying to like sing a Speed House song for your friend and then you're just like there's no way anyone's pulling out that unless there's like some real distinctive like melody going on. If it just wubs, you're like screwed.
100 likes, and I will sing Gassed Up on the next episode.
I think that's a good thing to
All
shoot
right.
for. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff.
Yeah. Well, it was nice talking to you guys again, and
All right.
Thanks, everyone. This is the Burnout Report.
yeah.
All right.
We'll see you guys soon to discuss EDC. So
Thanks, y'all.
yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.